So, legendaries are one of the few classes I think that hasn't really been touched on in a long time in My Sin Monsters. We've seen classes like the Ethereals be expanded a lot. The Fire Monsters, like, got finished off with those Quints in 2023. And even now, we just had them end for them being in Dawn of Fire. We had, like, Mythicals and all the Dream Mythicals. Even then, the Celestials are getting, like, adult forms, and hopefully Elder someday. I don't know what's up with that. Wublins have gone rares, hopefully epics soon. Just all these classes getting updates. Even Naturals. Yeah, Naturals, Mimic. Like, it's crazy. But there's one class that people just kind of forget about, I think, and yeah, that's the Legendary class. And this class, all the monsters are kind of like based off of real people. And right now, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 Sugar Fan members and 4 Wordos. So if you do the math, it's 22. No, it's 12. So 12 legendaries. That's pretty good, but there are no rares. There's like Plant Island is the only island to have like a legendary added onto it. So I think there's potential in legendaries, but I'm not sure if we're going to see a comeback anytime soon. So let me just explain that later why I think it might be unlikely. But let's just talk about what would they do. I think the obvious thing is to introduce 4 more, if not 6 more, legendary monsters for the natural islands and maybe even the fire islands. And then we could get a legendary island where there are even more legendaries, like Mythical Island, or just put them on other islands, like Magical Islands, some number that adds up to like 15, maybe even more, but I don't think, like, legendaries is kind of tricky, and also it doesn't make, because like doesn't make sense because Sugarbush Island exists, like that's sort of legendary island, but Sugarbush is only on Plant Island and the other naturals don't have legendaries. But does that mean each one of those legendaries will get their own island? I don't know. It's a confusing situation, so on one hand, maybe we should just don't even bother. Let them not. Just don't even touch on the legendaries. Just don't expand. It's just confusing. Or you could add more legendaries to like the natural islands and, you know, maybe make a legendary island. Maybe they don't all need their own islands. I definitely think that would be a mistake, but it would not make sense because Sugarbush Island exists. I don't know, but they have been doing stuff with every class. Legendaries could be the type of thing just to get like rares out of. I think Rare Sugarbush, which I discussed in a different video. You can watch that if you want. I think that's a possibility. I think Rare Wordos, while you're at it, yeah, there's a decent chance. I don't think either of them are very interesting, but I think they have a chance. And I would like to see Rare Sugarbush, but since all of the Sugar family members are so similar, it is going to get repetitive and hard for them to keep the designs unique. But I definitely think that's a possibility. That's how they could expand the legendaries. But I would also like to see them on each natural island at least. The problem is the legendaries are based off of real people. And if they want to keep doing it like Sugarbush, they might have to get like music artists to actually collab with them, which MSM's a big game. But getting like 4 of those or maybe even 6 more seems hard, so I think they could kind of twist the legendaries into something a bit different. Oh, by the way, technically, legendaries, there are multiple on the islands, but you know, for Weirdos, very legendaries, but Plant Island just has like that extra one of Sugar Bush, so it's kind of weird. Not everything needs to be equal in the game, but you know, I'm just talking. Anyway, instead of basing it off of real people, what if they base it off of IPs? Now, this seems like it could be its own class, but what if they collabed with other game companies and made monsters based off of them? Like, some monster based off of Among Us could be on Cold Island or something. Maybe Air. I don't know, but you get the idea. Like, Among Us, Cut the Rope, Angry Birds, I don't know. Any, like, probably mobile game. Plants vs. Zombies, I would love that. I've always wanted those franchises to cross over, no matter how unlikely it is. But yeah, they could do that. I think that's probably easier to do than actually getting like music artists. I mean, Christian Bush, I don't think he's that big, is he? But, you know, I don't know. I think maybe game crossovers would be a bit easier. I don't know if they want to do crossovers. They haven't really done a crossover. That's interesting. Anyway, I want to see the legendaries be expanded on, but I'm not sure how. And I'm not sure if we need it. And I feel like something that kind of debunks this is the Ethereal Quint, ironically. So, I think we all know by now that the Ethereal Quint was indeed revealed in the player part. I predicted that like a month ago, but yeah, very exciting. I have some thoughts on it. I'm not sure. I'm not very positive or negative about it. I'm kind of on it right now, but we'll see when it releases. Anyway, that Quint is being voiced by Landon, like the YouTuber with the talk box, and I find it strange, but I also think that Landon would have been a legendary if, you know, if they wanted to do this update like somewhat like right now. So I mean, it could be both, but I think about a year ago I had this idea when Landon went to BBB, which I found out no, he did not record that when he was there. He recorded it the second time he was there because he went back because I saw one of his shorts had like the new MSM plushes in it, so he went there twice. Not sure what he was doing it the first time, but anyway, I had an idea a year ago where maybe Landon could be the Cold Island legendary and use the talk box on there, and it would sound pretty cool in my opinion. But you know, apparently Landon is voicing the Ethereal Quint, which is just feels really weird to me. Like this big monster, it's a collab with this YouTuber that's, I don't want to say he's not an MSM fan, but like he's definitely not like an MSM tuber. I don't know. I think it's kind of strange, but you know, he's a Ethereal Quint apparently, so I think if they had plans for legendaries to make more of them, I think maybe Landon would have been one. You know, he's not like a, like, you know, he's not like, but he's a like music YouTuber, so like that's close enough for a legendary. Like you're still basing it off of a real person. Like for Wordos, like as long as it's based off of a real person, I think it's just how it is. If it's based off of just some random person, you know, that wouldn't make sense. But Landon is a YouTuber, and I think that pretty much fits the legendary class. But you know, they did it with Ethereal Quint, so I don't think it's happening. Really, I have low confidence in this happening, but I'm just throwing around ideas. of a legendary class possibly making a comeback. But yeah, I think someday we could get a few more just as a nice one for all the natural islands. Eventually legendary island, maybe. And I think it'd be cool because legendaries are kind of overlooked, I think. Like, people love Sugar Bush. People know about the Weirdos, like impossible to ignore in the songs. But they are an overlooked class, and they don't get updates anymore. Like, you don't see the Weirdos coming to islands anymore. Like, we thought we would get Weirdos on Haven a while back, and we didn't. You know, they're not getting rares. They're just kind of almost forgotten. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just talking about, legendary monsters will happen maybe someday. Maybe they'll bring back this class in some way, but I don't know. It's kind of a tricky situation. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm planning on maybe making a video. I've said this many times about making a video, and then I don't do it yet. But I might make a video about the possibility of another MSM variant, like, class, and why they shouldn't do it, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know your opinions down below, if there's anything I missed talking about. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.